Hi, good evening. This is Scott at Scott Trades on Twitter with StockMarketMentor.com and your chart of the day. Want to talk about biotech, and I typically don't trade a lot of biotech stocks just because there can be some inherent risk with FDA stuff that comes out. You know, it's very headline driven. But I will note that biotech has been strong for really the last couple of quarters here. I mean, it was the first that I'm aware of to get above the 200-day moving average, and it did it before most anything else. And so biotech has been leading some of this rally here, and it is making a higher high compared to all of this other price action. So it's definitely an area we're watching over at StockMarketMentor.com. In fact, Dan Fitzpatrick added a few biotech stocks to his active trade list just over the last few days. Now, one of the ones that I'm looking at is SRPT. Knew I'd mess that up. Sarepta. Now, Sarepta, as you can see, again, it's been kind of following a lot of the market. It's been low. Evidently, it had a big gap down here in 2021. And again, that's kind of the inherent risk with biotech stocks. This kind of thing can happen. So you definitely want to have stops in place and respect the chart. But I do note that it, again, is making a higher high here in terms of price action, and it's at its highest level since this big gap down and flush around. And so what I would look for here on Sarepta is a potential gap fill. We want to see the stock continue to follow this 8-day exponential period moving average, and ideally, over the next couple of months, maybe gap fill to that 160 zone. Now, that's about 30% higher. I don't think it's going to get there overnight, but again, for a longer-term swing trade, definitely has some potential. So this is one that I'm watching here. But I first want to see if it can get above and stay above that 124 level. Get above there, do it on volume, and ideally stay above these three moving averages, the 8-day, the 21-day, and the 50-day. Now, it can whip around within consolidation. So if you're looking at this stock, you just got to know when it starts to consolidate, do you want to sit through that consolidation, or do you just want to take the risk off and then draw another line and say, okay, I'll buy it back when it gets above there? So different ways to trade this, but that's what I'm looking at for a potential longer-term swing trade here for Sarepta, ticker SRPT. So I hope that video is helpful. Give me a follow on Twitter if you don't already. And if you want to see all the stocks that Dan Fitzpatrick added to our active trade list, just take a trial. Click the link at StockMarketMentor.com, and we'll see you on the other side.